I'm just gonna speak on behalf of all Canadians right now. He doesn't speak for us. And please, to my American listeners, please forgive us. We are not all like this. It is a damn shame as a Canadian and a creator who is trying to get into the film industry to see this, because people are going to look at us as this going forward. This behavior that this man is doing cannot be accepted no more. The problem is there's a lot of people here that coddle this type of behavior. Suing over a rap beef is insane. I have never seen something like this happen before. I know people are saying he's not suing him directly. If the song didn't exist, there would be no lawsuit to begin with. If Kendrick didn't drop Not Like Us, there would be no point to sue. Therefore, he's suing Kendrick by way of UMG. Yesterday, he actually withdrew his petition to UMG, and I was actually going to make a video about that, but then something in my spirit told me, just wait a day. Just wait till morning time, because you never know what can happen. It seems like every day it's something new. So just wait until the next day before you actually make your video. And then I wake up and I just filmed the Daredevil trailer reaction, and I see the news that Drake has filed an official lawsuit against UMG. And it turns out that the withdrawal of his previous petition was to make way for the new federal case. I can't believe this. So this is still going on. So it looks like at the end of the day, from what we're seeing here, it says, according to TMZ, Drake is not backing down in the war against his own label. In fact, he's now upped the ante by suing Universal Music Group for spreading the false and malicious narrative that he's a pedophile. TMZ Hip Hop has learned. Drake filed the defamation case Wednesday morning in a federal court in NYC, ripping UMG for releasing and promoting Kendrick Lamar's vicious diss track, Not Like Us. You can't make this shit up. In the docs obtained by TMZ, Drake says UMG knew full well Kendrick's lyrics and images in the music video referring to Drake as a pedophile were false and dangerous. Drake says he's got bought receipts to show just how far the label went to turn Kendrick's song into an anthem. According to the suit, UMG paid a third party to use bots to increase the song's streams by at least 30 million and engaged in a pay-for-play scheme with at least one radio promoter. He's also claiming UMG was in on getting Kendrick the Super Bowl halftime gig so that the song could be performed on that massive stage. Interestingly, Drake isn't going directly after Kendrick in the suit again. In fact, he says this lawsuit is not about the artist who created Not Like Us. It is instead entirely about UMG, the music company that decided to publish, promote, exploit, and monetize the song, which it knew contained false claims. Where do you even begin with this? To start, Drake, you were the one that told Kendrick to call you a pedophile. You were the one that told Kendrick to say, talk about him liking young girls. And not only that, Kendrick essentially told you not to go low. You said, all right, I'm gonna go low. I don't care. You have to deal with the consequences. You made your bed. You got to lay in it. It's that simple. You hit with the allegations first, and then Kendrick responded. And the only problem that you have, he based his response off of truths. That's the issue. Drake has a problem that Kendrick's narrative stuck. And overall, I see a lot of people who have selective memory on how this battle went, trying to justify Drake using those angles against Kendrick. Kendrick had told you, don't go here, because if you do, right, that's on you. And Kendrick's a devious guy. This man's a boogeyman. He obviously planned multiple routes of where this could go beforehand. Drake wasn't thinking like that. The only way that Drake was thinking was to go this way. I'm gonna beef this guy. I'm gonna have backing from my label, so they're gonna destroy his image, which is the exact same thing that you did. And then I'll be able to get a new deal when I renegotiate. He thought it would be that simple. But the problem is that you're beefing with somebody who also has publishing rights tied to UMG. So it's not like you're beefing an artist and he's on a different label and that label has to take care of the promotion. But you're beefing with an artist that also has UMG distributing and promoting his music. So if both of you are going into a beef, and you, by the way, went that route and you had no problem with tarnishing Kendrick's name, bringing in Whitney, bringing in Dave Free, talking about his kids, saying that he was SA'd, even though that didn't happen, you had no problem using those narratives and promoting that by way of UMG, right? But when Kendrick did it, it becomes an issue because his song is bigger. And this is how you know that Drake thinks a lot like how his fans think. It's just numbers. Nobody is gonna look at this beef and say, oh, UMG put 20 million bots on Not Like Us. You won. No one's gonna say that Drake won 8-9 months after the battle. He thinks that the song blew up just because people saw an extra 30 million views and that's why it went viral. As if we didn't hear the song all over the damn world, going from Jamaica and India, people doing freestyles and songs and breakdowns and things like that all around the world, in South America, even in Canada. This song was playing in Drake's own city. I know a lot of people don't believe that, but they were playing Not Like Us even in Toronto. So what does that say? You didn't need bots to fake how big this song was. We knew at the end of the day, this beef was a 10-12 year buildup. No matter what, at least one song from either artist was gonna be the song to remember from this battle. We knew that. There has never been a rap beef that's been built up this long with two big artists at this point in their career. And the fact that we finally reached the breaking point of the beef and we got hits like Not Like Us, he can't fathom the idea that he wasn't the hit maker. And that's his problem. Drake fans were yesterday claiming that he got a bag, that he settled, when there was no indication in the previous paperwork that he got paid. Everybody's just assuming that he got paid, because why would he withdraw the case if he had nothing? A waste of money for lawyer fees and things like that. It's because he had nothing. The problem is with his fan base, they can't fathom that he had nothing. I don't know how they were able to create a spin in real time, but we've seen the spin in the last 10 hours online, and it's insane to actually see that they have a new narrative already. It's like they pre-planned narratives to handle how this is gonna go out, which is insane to me, right? Because at the end of the day, if you just left this whole thing alone, it would eventually go away. But the more that you do this, the more lawsuits you file, the more antics you do at a Raptors game or whatever it may be, it's going to promote his music even more. Not Like Us streams are probably gonna go up again. GNX streams are probably gonna go up again. I don't understand the logic behind what you're trying to do here. And also, it looks like even in this lawsuit, he's even saying that they're trying to use euphoria for the case. Predictably, millions of people who listened to the recording or saw the image and video believed in the defamatory material to be true. UMG had previously published Kendrick Lamar's song Euphoria, which was also widely understood to be targeted at Drake, and which stated, "Don't tell no lie about me, and I won't tell truths about you." As a voluminous public commentary confirms, the average listener or viewer has understood the defamatory material to reflect the truth rather than the art or hyperbole. In the words of one commentator now, everybody believes that Drake loves touching. Wow. You can't make this up. You gotta mention Euphoria in the case now because all your diss tracks didn't hit. I'm sorry. I have to repeat this again. Canadians, on behalf of all Canadians, to my American listeners and anyone else around the world that's listening, we do not all think like this guy. We do not co-sign this behavior. Yes, Drake is a hit maker. Yes, Drake has made hit songs, plenty, that many of people have enjoyed, but the behavior has to be called out. And it seems like he's one of the only artists that you can't get away with calling him out on things because they will write you off as a hater. There's a difference between hating and making valid criticisms. And the problem is Drake seems like he doesn't have anybody in his circle that is allowed to make valid criticisms based on what he's trying to do. That's why he's made misstep after misstep ever since this beef has ended, because it just continues to be an L after L. You started this first. At the end of the day, how are you mad on the outcome based on what you were doing yourself? This would be completely different if Drake didn't go the way that he went, with the angles that he went with, if he didn't bring Whitney into the beef. It seemed like he had more beef with Whitney than Kendrick, which is crazy. You mentioned her more than Kendrick, and it seems this is a continuous theme that you have with bringing in people's women into the beef and you having a problem in beefing with women yourself. This is why Kendrick said, "I believe you don't like women." That's real competition, and you might pop ass with him. And you can see, people have to stop with the unbothered narrative. People have to stop with saying that he got a bag. He didn't get no damn bag. He wouldn't be filing another lawsuit if he got a bag. The whole point of this entire thing, one, in my opinion, was to stomp on GNX's release. He saw the talk. He saw none of that worked because the streams went up. And then now it seems like he's trying to apply pressure on the NFL and the Grammys to, one, make sure that he doesn't win any awards for Not Like Us and perform Not Like Us on February 9th. Well, let me tell you what's probably going to happen. Not only is Kendrick going to win awards, but he's going to perform Not Like Us at the Super Bowl. I'm making the prediction now. If he wasn't doing it before, he's doing it now. But in my humble opinion, I think he was always doing it. And a lot of people said the NFL won't let him say the word pedo, this and that, XYZ, live on TV, da da da. Yes, they will. You want to know why? Because if I'm not mistaken, correct me if I'm wrong, guys, Amazon has way more money and makes more money than the NFL. If Amazon let Kendrick perform Not Like Us 6 times live on air, on stream, what makes you think that the NFL wouldn't let Kendrick do that himself? He may not say the full verse, right? I believe he's probably only going to rap the first verse, have the orchestra, the band and the orchestra and everything kind of bring it up together and then transition to another song, or that might be the end song, most likely. But that's about it. They're going to let him perform the song. The NFL only cares about money, right? And viewership. At the end of the day, their viewership is going up. And what else could you do to cement your halftime show and your Super Bowl viewership? Perform Not Like Us. This will be a moment talked about forever. And this is why Drake is going all the way down under, right, on February 9th to start his tour, because he doesn't want to be anywhere near this entire Super Bowl performance. And I wouldn't want to either, to be honest. If you're calling me a PDF file for the whole world to see in front of all of America, I wouldn't want to be anywhere near it either. This is the one that got me. Drake is trying to say that the shooting in Toronto was due to Not Like Us. I can't believe this. I'm literally reading this as I'm recording this, and I just can't even understand how you could put two and two together. But he's saying here it was just 3 days after UMG originally published the recording, an image that Drake was targeted at his Toronto house by armed intruders. It says in the middle of the night on May 7th, 2024, an armed group of assailants drove up to Toronto's house in which Drake and his family resided. Drake was inside, so he was inside. I know people were saying he wasn't there, but he was there. The car stopped in front of the residence. Someone yelled, "Fuck Drake," and at least one gunman began to open fire. One bullet went through the security gate and hit Drake's front door. Another bullet struck and wounded a security guard who was also one of Drake's friends. While the car drove away, Drake and others in the house summoned help for the security guard and did everything possible to keep him alive. Yeah, I guess they're trying to connect the fact that Kendrick put his house, the album cover. That's why the whole shooting happened. I mean, Drake, you had a whole, if you guys didn't know, there was like all the major news stations in like Toronto covered Drake's house as it was being built. We all knew the address. As soon as the house broke ground in construction, we already knew exactly where his house was. It's not a secret for anyone in Toronto or Canada, if you have common sense, to know where Drake lives. It's not like he hid where he lived. He literally has a song called, I think it's something on the Bridal Path or something like that. That's literally where he lives. It's not hard to find his address, right? It's not like he's these other celebrities where you gotta like do a whole black web search to figure out where the hell their house is. No, it's very known, well known where Drake lives. So we can't put that on the song, but the timing is very, very insane. So I understand that he's grasping for straws. He's trying to put whatever he can to make it make sense in the lawsuit or in this petition. Overall, it's just very disappointing. It's just very disappointing because, you know, the fan base is delusional and they're pushing narratives, and we can't excuse this behavior. And like I said, why I'm so mad as a Canadian, and I want to be very, very clear that he does not represent how we all feel about this case and how we all are in general. But as a Canadian, why it really makes me upset is because if you're in the creative field, at the end of the day now, it's going to be harder for you to be taken seriously. And we already have that problem, right? Like we already have this issue with taking each other seriously in the city, in the country. So at the end of the day, we rely on people from around the world to support us because we may not get that support at home. The last thing we need is for the whole world to think that we're all clowns, that we all act like this. And opportunities given to people who aren't like that may be lessened because of the main example. A lot of people just think that Drake represents all Canadians because he's the biggest Canadian artist that's ever come out of the country. That's not true. And a lot of people here disagree with the way that he's been behaving because you represent the city, you represent the country. And with a responsibility like that, you have to carry yourself way better than you are now. At the end of the day, you lost the beef. Been known, we understand that you can't get over it. But the best thing for you to do, Drake, is to literally sit by yourself, cut off all the yes men in your circle, and plan how to be the better version of yourself going forward. Take the time you need, take the rest, take that break that you've been wanting to take, and come back with something better. Not this, because this is embarrassing. It's pathetic, it's disgusting, I don't even know what to say about it. Not only do I think this is not going to go through, but in terms of his rap credibility, in my opinion, it's over. What can you do or what can you say going forward for us to actually take you seriously? And UMG, what are they going to do with your music? Are they going to promote it? How is it going to go going forward? I don't really care to get a Party Next Door and Drake album in 2025. I'm a Canadian. I actually really like Party Next Door's music. But at the end of the day, I feel like this album is just a last-ditch effort to stay relevant because you lost the beef. And also, this album is coming like 10 years too late, in my opinion. 2014 to 2015, if you said you guys were doing this, oh yeah, 100%. But not only is Drake's music quality digressed like massively, but you haven't even promoted your other artists properly. Do people really want to hear a Party Next Door album now? In my opinion, he's one of the most talented people on the label. He should be having way more numbers and success than he does, but we know why he doesn't, because look who he signed to. This whole thing is very unfortunate. I guess we're going to see what happens. And this video ended up being much longer than I thought it would be, but I had to get that off my chest. So what do you guys think about this new lawsuit? Do you think it's going through? I definitely do not. I don't think this is going to end well for him. He better hope that he has a case, because based on you using YouTubers and academics and other people from your fan base as your only credible sources, I don't think that's going to hold up. I really do not think that's going to hold up. It is a lot. It's crazy. It don't make no damn sense, but I guess we're going to see what happens. You want to know something? I think there's only one way for Drake to really actually recover from this. And the best thing for Drake to do going forward is to turn his TV off.
God, tell me, I don't want to talk on no selling. You know I got language barriers. There's no accent you can sell me. You're cold and ivory, you know I'm a selfish. The crown is heavy. I pray they ain't my real friends. If not,